Hello and welcome to Laguna, Seca, California, where we have the Apex Online Racing LMP2 social race, ready for the season coming up for the LMP2 League. We have clear conditions tonight. We have qualifying start time of 6 PM with the race start time of 7 PM in game, and time progression is 5 times, so we're going to see 5 hours pass over the course of the race. We've got qualifying just getting underway now as we see Crab out on track. And yeah, what are you looking forward to tonight then, JP?
Tonight I am just looking forward to having a look at some just proper racing, because it's been a long time since I've seen this game being used in anger. There's been a huge break over the last couple of weeks, and it's just great to see the game back being used and having some good racing again.
That is very true. GT3 League was 4 months ago now, so it's been a long time since you had Project Cars leagues going on, so it's good to see a fair few people turning up tonight, at least 16 of them. How many more there is than that, as we see someone spinning around there in front of Boge Franz. Luckily got out of his way. That is Ultimate, I believe. That's Crab. Crab has...
that was Crab. That was the first car out on track, and unfortunately getting in the way, and he's on the gravel again. It's not been a great outlap for him.
Hopefully his tyres will be fine for his fast lap coming up now.
Let's try and work our way through the grid. So we've got Martin now, WNDR Martin, who is actually a pad user, just leaving the pits now. That's a pretty car. I like that livery. And then we've got the big Scot, Andrex UK. We've got Admiral, who is sitting at, he must have had an incident because now he's back in the pits. We've got Emloja, we've got Legendaire, and we've had Crab as well, who's now must be on their flying lap. We've got Dusty. That is a hard name for
Good luck.
Why did I volunteer for this?
Eisenschenk. We'll go with Eisenschenk. Or Eisen. Eisen for short will probably be best for the stream.
Yeah. Just to save my tongue. And then we've got Ultimate. But anyway, so we've got some times. Boge Franz already was a really fast lap. With a 1:15.2. Oh, the times are coming in. Inky Chris with a huge lap of a 1:13.775. I've raced this guy in the past. I did the Formula Renault 3.5 Season 2 with him. And let me tell you, this guy, he knows how to go fast. He is rapid. He missed the first 2 races of the season, still finished second in the championship. Oh, and there was a huge crash there, just right in front of him.
Yeah, Inky Chris finishing second and first Laguna in that Formula 3.5 race, so he's definitely good at this track. He knows what he's doing. Let's see if he can translate that into the LMP2s, as we've got Yogurt with a 13.09, setting the bar even higher now, which is pretty rapid for the first lap. We see in time trials we've got Yogurt doing a 1:10.4, so there's maybe a bit of time on the table there, but the track conditions may be costing them a couple of seconds here. But Boge Franz even faster again, the 13.06.
That's an insane lap time that these guys are setting already.
Yeah, they're getting the business done early. They've got 10 minutes left of qualifying, coming up to 10 minutes 30. Going Boge Franz now.
10 minutes left of the... there's 5 minutes gone, and for some reason Atomic hasn't left the pitch yet. And I know from past experience he likes to tweak the setup like constantly to try and get the most out of the car, but surely it's best at this stage to just get a banker in.
Yeah, he's also a streamer, so maybe he's doing his intro as he gets away now out of the pits, so he might have just been saying hello to his fans on his Twitch stream. So we'll see what lap he can do. He loves these LMPs, he does. He's a huge fan of these high downforce cars, so he'll be looking to put a good result in tonight.
Definitely.
As Happy
And
L
we'll
in the chat, what's your prediction for pole with 9 minutes to go? I would have to say, for me, it's Yogurt, but anyone else for you, JP?
I'm gonna hold out for Inky Chris. I've got high hopes for Inky Chris tonight. Yeah, he's currently P4. That doesn't do put my. I'm glad I'm not putting money on this.
That's going on the
Because
last
he was
corner.
just off.
Luckily, there's not much of a run on that last corner, so he may not have lost too much time on his next lap now. But definitely has a chance. We've seen in a previous race, Ultimate is definitely on pace with Yogurt, so Ultimate is another good shout for who could be pole here. So but we'll see what happens. We've got 9 minutes remaining of qualifying, as Yogurt does 12.3 is the time to beat at the moment.
That is. Let's see if we can catch anyone on the flying laps. Let's have a look at Andrex. Andrex now making his way up to the hill, to the kink, which is a 4th gear corner.
Yep. You can do that without braking, but it's very risky. Definitely wouldn't do it in the race, but qualifying you can save a few tenths by just lifting instead of braking, so you may see some of the faster guys doing that during qualifying.
I mean, you might do it without braking, but I definitely would do it with braking.
You only got 50 minutes to set a lap, so playing it safe could be better than risking it all just on that one little kink for a few tenths. But
here it goes. Let's see how Andrex can do. Can he jump up into the top 10? He has, with a huge lap of a 1:12.864 up to P4. Fantastic lap for Andrex.
that is definitely, as he goes back to the pits, go back to lower fuel again and get out to do some more laps, I imagine. As let's go on board with Yogurt. Let's do a lap with him. Hopefully he's got enough fuel for a flying lap here. No, doesn't look like it. That's
Nope.
back to the pits. Thanks, Yogurt. Thanks for your help. As we see Ultimate get P2 at the moment, just a quarter of a second behind Yogurt with a 1:12.34. Assume he's on a flying lap now as well as he comes around the penultimate corner and into the final corner, braking hard down into first gear. And on to the straight now. Let's see if he can improve on this and jump Yogurt. Doesn't look like it.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't even improved. It's unfortunate.
Throwing in the barrier in the background there. So a lot of people seem to be struggling with keeping it on the black stuff today. So I wonder if that's to do with the weather. I've heard people talking about having trouble with tyre temperatures, being a late night race. So we'll see how it is. Also, the date is set for November, I believe, for this race. So the track is not the warmest it could be. Let's see what these guys can pull out though. Obviously, Yogurt and Ultimate are not phased at all by any track conditions. They just get down to business and still set flying laps.
It's insane what these guys can do. Like, they are definitely aliens. They are no way are they human.
Is Yogurt catch that drift? And
I
oh,
think
he had to dodge the rejoin there.
That was actually that was. I can't.
I'm not sure who that was, but another person off the track. It's going to be interesting.
So many
to
cars
see.
off. Even just trying to set a banker lap will be hard with all the cars being off.
Yeah, it's a very busy track here today. As we see the top 5 within a second of each other, and another off there. Who was that in the background? Not sure who that was. Can't tell by their liveries. It was Inky Chris. So even someone as fast as Inky Chris can't keep it on the tarmac for qualifying. It's going to be very interesting. There's just crossover 5 minutes 30 left for qualifying. Should be able to get a couple more laps out as we see more people coming out the pits. Atomic appears to have a penalty. Can we see if he's got any grid places? So I assume that's going to be speeding in the pit lane. So Tom's got a 1 grid penalty.
Oh, 1 grid penalty. Oh no.
It's unfortunate for him there.
I suppose the good part about this is that it's just a testing session basically. The season hasn't started. There's no points for this race.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I mean, this is basically just they're all trying to get to grips with the cars, see how the car handles, to get used for the season.
Definitely, yeah. And so, if I can speak to the chat, I see we've got a few people in here already. Who have people got their money on in chat then? Obviously, I can see Dead One, Yogurt for the easy win apparently. As Ultimate goes faster with an 11.8.
Check it out. That's an insane lap. I know I say it pretty much every time these guys set a lap, but it is insane because I know I could get nowhere near these times.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible what they're doing around here. So, guys, we close down to nearly 4 minutes left in the session. A few guys still in the pits at the moment, but this track's getting faster and faster as we go on, as people are breaking into below the 112s. Korovnik now, who I believe was your teammate for the last GT3 league, as he comes around turn 2 there.
Certainly was. I let him down many's the race. He definitely carried me through the GT3 season. We did okay though. We got there in the end. Oh, he's gone off slightly.
Should stop commentators cursing people already.
Yeah,
It's already begun, hasn't it?
I've done it like 3 times. It's like Inky Chris has had a nightmare already tonight.
We got Happy Al in chat saying he's cheering for Atomic. So it's definitely a chance. He does really, really love these LMP cars. So if he can keep it together for the hour, I think that's usually his biggest downfall. Is he can be fast lap after, or like for singular laps. But keeping it together for an hour seems to be where he struggles. But if you keep it together, definitely has a chance for at least a top 5 finish here today.
Oh yeah, 100%. Atomic, going a bit deep there into the corkscrew.
Now there'll be a track limits there.
Yeah, that's the bend lap, unfortunately.
So Ultimate's gone even faster now. He's put 4 tenths between him and Yogurt.
That's insane. Yogurt surely will be wanting to show that he will be able to close the gap. He will be sweating in his rig.
Definitely capable. As I said before, he's done a 1:10.47 in the time trials, which obviously track conditions are different here, so he's definitely find some pace somewhere to get that lap time down. He goes off there. I think that's going to be a track cut there, it looked like on the second part of the corkscrew. Yeah, it seems to be slowing down now. Probably warming his tyres up for a final, maybe 1 or 2 more laps depending on his fuel.
And Andrix has popped himself into 3rd. He's into the 112s now as well.
Very impressive by the Scotsman there to stick it in 3rd.
Yeah. Very impressive. The other night when I was talking to him, he said, there's no chance. He's like, top 10 at the most, and now he's in P3. Yeah. Talk about a sandbagger.
Yeah, he loves to throw that word around at other people, but today he is the sandbagger.
Yeah. Let's have a look down through. So we've got Boj France, who is if I'm mistaken, is the world record holder.
He is indeed. He's the only guy faster than Yogurt at the moment in time trials with a 1:10.1. So he's over 3 tenths faster than Yogurt in time trials. So surprised to see him down in 4th. He thought it'd be fighting for that top spot, but he's a 2nd down on Ultimate at the moment in qualifying.
Yeah. We've got Dusty.
We have Ben S. Dixon in chat having no idea who anyone is, so he doesn't know who to root for. Just pick a name that you like, isn't that what you do? Or pick a livery, pick a colour you like, and go, that's the person I'm going to cheer on today. And you just see how he does in the race.
Pretty much. Let's have a look at Mashup Map. A fellow commentator who decided to grab the wheel for tonight. Yeah, fellow Welshman, isn't he? For you. Yeah, he's decided to grab the wheel for tonight, and we, well, have decided to put our rigs to one side and take his old job, basically.
That's exactly what's happened. He commentated for us in the GT3 League, and now here we are commentating LMP. So where is he sitting at the moment? He's 16th.
16th.
15.59. Let's see his time. 10 seconds left in qualifying. This will be his last lap. Let's see if he can improve on that at all. He comes down through turn 9, rainy curve. Down towards turn 10, penultimate corner.
Ultimate is ahead of Yogurt still.
And that's it for Mashup. He's going to the pits, so that's going to be at P16.
That's a bit of an anti-climax.
Is Yogurt
So
still on track?
Jorger now coming into the corkscrew. Let's see if he can improve and grab pole at the death of the qualifying. A little bit squirrely, but it looks alright. Can he carry the speed? He definitely can. He's like 1/3 left. Let's see if he can do it. He's got 4/10 to grab. It looks
It's a
good.
good line out of there.
Can he carry it? Can he carry it? No, he
Doesn't do
doesn't
it.
improve. Oh, he's going to be furious for that.
Andrex is also in the
Hendricks
pits
coming into
now.
the pits. Smolder on his flying on his last lap. Into the penultimate corner. I think
Nope.
yeah, you could tell. I see where Atomic's coming now. The penultimate corner. Oh, and he's gone wide.
Everyone pushing for these last lap to try and get the final
Uh,
few positions, but he wins it there as well. And
MDR Martin deciding he's going to finish his qualifying lap no matter what direction he is.
we've
Good
got him
old
in
MDR Martin. Brilliant.
P13 there. Obviously, he's using controller, so that's interesting to see how a controller user does. Never knock controllers in these racing games. Some of them can be very quick, as we know from the ACC GT3 League. There's a guy in Tier 1 that actually won yesterday in the AOR League
Yeah.
with a pad, so he's faster than Jardier with a
So
pad.
here we've got Ultimate on pole with Yogurk second and Andrix in third. We've got Botrand in fourth, Dusty fifth, Kierwinik, get in there, my good old teammate in P6, Smolder P7, Inky Chris P8, and Crab P9, and in P10 we got the unspeakable Enchnik
Let's go with Eisen.
and Eisen.
His name's Eisen from now on.
I let
Eisen
you take.
Schenk. Oh, and we're
Oh,
going
it's
to the
been
grid.
forwarded. We didn't get. Atomic was P11. Oh well, he was, but Phoenix has been promoted
He
because
had
of
the grid
Atomic's
penalty
fourth
from
place
Atomic, yeah.
grid penalty. Yeah. Then we got MDO Martin in P13. We got JJ 14th. We got
Assume he goes by
Mew
Mouse because his tag is
Mouse.
MAU, so we'll go with Mouse for that one.
Yeah, we're going with Mouse for that. We've got Mashup Matt, the Welshman, in 16th. We got Ticklish, one of the coordinators, in 17th. Legendaire in 18th. Mo- oh my god.
Mlonya?
Bologna.
We'll go with Mlonya.
Oh,
We're so
in
sorry to the guys for
19th.
butchering their names tonight, but we're doing
Oh
our best.
god. A dyslexic Irishman and a Welshman are not ideal for this. And Admiral Loverod in P20. So yeah, we've got a pretty good looking grid. I
20
think right
people
now
for a
they're just
social race is a good turnout as well, so hopefully we can see just as many. We have, I think, 37 sign-ups for the entire league. So looking forward to that. As should we go over the calendar while we're waiting this to start? We can just do that quickly.
yeah, we can do.
So looking forward to the calendar. We got 10th of March, Road America for a pre-season race next week. Bathurst on 17th of March, followed by Mugello on 24th of March. The Nürburgring combined, so that's the full Nordschleife circuit and the GP circuit on the 31st of March. I'm looking forward to that one, seeing what LMP2s can do around there. We've got Spa, 7th of April. Le Mans, 24-hour track, but only 145 minutes. Shh, don't tell anyone. On the 14th of April, and then Algarve on the 21st of April.
And tell me, Kiki, what race are you looking forward to the most out of that?
I'm a sucker for Bathurst, even though Nordschleife and Spa and Le Mans are like classic tracks. It's I love Bathurst, and it seems the lights are about to happen.
Yeah, we're gonna have the rolling formation.
Oh yes,
soon,
rolling
yeah?
formation. I've totally forgot we're doing rolling formation.
Come on, man.
JP, you should explain this, how formation works for the viewers that don't know.
Well, basically, with the rolling formation, everyone's done the qualifying, so now they stay in position and they will will go around the track now at a set speed. And then when they will later on in the track, I think it's the second to last corner, they will start to form up 2 by 2, and they will go 2 by 2 around the last corner, and then at the discretion of the leader, when they get to the start finish line, that's when the race will actually begin. So this is basically like a formation lap, and that's what they would use in Formula 1, where they get to like warm up the tires, brake pressure, brake temperature, sorry. Just make sure the car's feeling alright. Just to get the drivers prepped and ready for the race.
Yep, and it will be a rolling start when they get to the start line, and obviously, like you say, the leader, anytime they're over the grid lines, the leader can decide to put his foot down to get the race underway, so it doesn't have to wait till the start-finish line itself. So we could see what Ultimate decides to do here, whether he decides to go early while people are still in the final corner, or if he waits a bit later to try and not let Yogurt get a run on him down into turn 1.
And it would be a very cheeky thing to do would be good to go early. But it's something that I would probably do, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's up to the discretion of P1 at that point, so we'll see what Ultimate decides to do now as they come up to the point where they're forming up now 2 by 2. You can see, looking forward to this one, looking forward to see if Yogurt can make a jump into turn 1 and see how the field pans out, see if we get any incidents. Hopefully not, hopefully we can keep it very clean, these opening laps. They've got an hour of racing to go, so don't see them needing to do anything drastic on these first few laps.
Have a look then.
Ultimate waiting a bit, letting them form up a bit more on this back straight.
Everyone's around the last corner, and it's go, and Yogurt's been caught sleeping by the entire pack, and he's had a little bump there. Andrex has had a stormer, it's up to P2, as they rush down to turn 2, sorry.
Everyone seems to be keeping it clean.
Everyone looks to have got through cleanly though.
Yeah, clean start there for the first few corners. That's very good to see. And not everyone's. Oh, we got, as we speak too soon, we got 2 off there.
Oh,
who was that? I can't really tell. The UI is not great for Project Cars to see who it is. Oh, Yogurt's off there on the inside and has contact with the wall. I wonder if he's got damage from that one there. You just saw him in the distance there, just bonk off the wall. So we'll see if that affects his times and his ability to race here.
Oh no, that's such an unfortunate start for. Who was it? It must have been Bosch France. Yeah, he's down in 12.
He was up in P4 from the start, I believe it was. So dropped down now. Where is he down to? Down to 13th
now. Yeah. But as they go up to the corkscrew, Andrex looking to make moves. Oh, he's gone slightly wide, but will he be able to close the gap? He's got an hour to do it on Ultimate.
Tyres will still be cold at this stage as well. That opening warm-up lap, sometimes you don't get enough temperature in the tyres, so it may take 2, 3, maybe 4 laps to get the tyres to actually racing conditions. You see Atomic there in P8, he's made some positions here so far.
Atomic had a stormer of a start, starting from P12 up to P8. What a great first lap. Defending hard from MWA Martin.
Yeah, he's under pressure from Mouse there as they come down into turn 3. Field seems to sort itself out a little bit though. There doesn't seem to be anything much happening. No argy-bargies going on, but nice and clean apart from that first incident it seemed with Bosch France. I'm not sure who the other guy was, but we have to see Krabs picked up a penalty so far. It's one thing that's going to be interesting in this race over an hour is how many penalties, as Yogurt joins in with a 3-second penalty too.
Yogurt literally just joined him, yeah, with a 3-second penalty.
Down
and
through the corkscrew.
I was feeling that I had to defend slightly there. Oh, the valve for B8 and Atomic and Martin is getting spicy. Atomic feeling that it has to defend into the final turn. Martin going to try and go around the outside.
Yeah, Martin should get the run there.
To turn 1. Atomic's got slightly better exit. They're going to go up over the crest. Atomic closes off Martin. Martin right back in the slipstream. Martin goes down tries to dive down the inside. Atomic squeezes. Martin clings onto the inside, but Atomic's now going to try to go around the outside and holds on to the position. This is going to hopefully last all hour for the entire race.
This is great stuff here. Atomic defending very well to Martin there. Is all over the back of him, but just wouldn't let him through as Martin gets a bit sketchy, spins it. Martin is around and he's taken. Oh no, this car's coming through. Hopefully he can rejoin safely. As others are off the track trying to avoid him. It's unfortunate there by Martin just to lose the back end. As said, the tyres may not be up to temperature yet, so could have been caused by that. Maybe getting a bit on the sand off the track there, but
and I think
Boschran's at
Boschranz went
17th.
off in sympathy as well, because he ended up going into the gravel to try and avoid Martin.
Yeah, I saw a few
He's had
cars
a
going off in
nightmare
the
of a
gravel.
first 2 laps.
Yeah, P4 down to 17. It's going to be a big recovery race now for Boschranz, who we thought was going to be one of the top finishers, but it's not looking great so far in this opening few laps. Someone else off the track there. Was that Legionnaire?
Legionnaire.
It was. So as we said in qualifying, people are struggling to keep it on the track here, whether that's due to the cold temperatures and tyres not getting there, or just the difficulty of the track itself and these cars to drive. Obviously it's a pre-season race, it may be some people's first time driving, as Yogurt even goes wide, so if Yogurt's struggling, it's no surprise everyone else is. As you see penalties rolling in now, we have 5, 6 cars all picking up penalties. Who's winning the penalty war? It's Crab at the moment on 4 seconds, with Yogurt on 3, Smolder on 2, Mouse got 1, Matt's got 1, and Martin's got 1.
Yeah, man.
Ultimate got a 2-second lead now on Andrex. He's putting a nice cushion there for him. Seen coming around the penultimate corner into the final corner here. But they're not at least having a clean race. They can get open air and not having any issues.
I think Ultimate now at this point is just trying to do a Vettel and just absolutely get pole and just absolutely just get going. Just set fast laps and get up the road. He's already 9/10 faster than Andrex last lap.
Yeah, he's looking at doing a 1 hour qualifying session, I think, with a full tank of fuel. We should be seeing pit stops about half an hour into the race, the midpoint, just due to the fuel tank size. I believe it's 70 litres for the Okra. I'm not sure what the Ligiers have for fuel tank size, but should be seeing about 30 minutes for pit stops. Taking tyres seems to be up to the drivers, whether it's worth the time to. Given the conditions and the way they're sliding around, some of them may want to get some fresh tyres halfway through the race.
Yeah, from what I've been talking to a few of the drivers, they've been saying that they can make the tyres last the whole race, but they will 100% have to fuel up. The tanks are just not big enough in these cars to last for the full hour around here.
Yeah, they're looking at using about 130 litres across the course of the race, and there's only about a 70 litre fuel tank in at least one of the cars. I haven't looked at all of them, sorry. So we should see a definite refuel during the pit stop.
And Dusty now going through the corkscrew, following Atomic, and Atomic has seen, even with the great start, I don't know if he's struggling for pace now with the heavy fuel load, but he seems to have to be constantly defending as he runs slightly wide under the gravel, heading into the final turn, and Dusty is that bit closer, and he gets to square. He squares up the corner to try and get closer to Atomic as they head up to turn 1 over the crest.
Yeah, he's still putting on 14.8 by Atomic. It's not the worst time in the world compared. Andrex is doing 14.2, so it's not, or 4.3 even. So Atomic's not that far off the pace, but he definitely needs to defend from Dusty here now.
Yeah, he lost 6/10 of him in that last lap alone.
Yeah.
Atomic just needs to get the blinkers on and absolutely just drive forward, forget about what's behind him.
Yeah, as Dusty does make a mistake there, which gives him a little bit of breathing room.
Here we have Ticklish now in P12, who's actually had a pretty good start as well, because where did he started 17th, wasn't it?
It would have helped if we wrote down the qualifying positions, wouldn't it? It's something we learn as we go, as it's our first time commentating here today. But Ticklish, yeah, is in P12 at the moment. He's got Boschranz behind him, so he's worked his way through the field. He's up to 13th now, which Boschranz doing quite a good job working his way back up from 17th. Ticklish is looking to get up behind Eisen here now and see how if he can pressure him and make a move on him. Whether he wants to with 50 minutes left in the race.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Dusty has gone into the pits. I don't know what happened, but he's having an early pit stop, as well as Boschranz. Boschranz probably has damage and just tried to stay for the first 10 minutes to try and burn off some of the fuel so he could have like a better pit stop in the midsection. But I'm pretty sure that's going to mean he's going to have to do 2 pit stops now this race to show these guys. Yeah,
I'm not sure what the cut-off time was when the pit lane virtually opens due to fuel tank size. Whether Boschranz has worked it out and he can come in now to go to the end on this fuel stop. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll keep an eye on that and see if he has to pit again later.
Let's have a look back at the leader and to see. Yeah, he's still in front as he
He is
goes
still
over
there,
turn
and he's
1.
still pulling away from Andrex. It's 3.7 seconds now as we go into the turn 2, the big sweeping left-hander. See some back markers now coming out the pits, which could cause some havoc for the cars behind, but Ultimate should be able to navigate through them quite safely. It's I haven't thought about this much, but what do you think this track's like for dealing with back markers? Is it easy enough for them to get out of the way here?
Oh Lord.
According to that, no, it's not, because
Yeah,
both of them go to the left.
definitely not. I'm not sure who that back marker was. Was it? Yeah, I don't know who it was, but they definitely had the same idea, and it definitely didn't work.
Definitely did not. Hopefully there's no damage there for Ultimate on his front end. As we said earlier, if these LMP cars get some aero damage, it may not be great for them, because these cars being high downforce cars, any aero damage can severely affect the handling of them. It's not like a GT3 car we can lose a front splitter and still be generally fine. In these cars, you lose a wing or anything aerodynamic, and the handling of the car completely disappears, and you have to pretty much have to come into the pits at that point. They become uncontrollable as soon as the aero starts dropping off.
Yeah, and that back marker has certainly caused Ultimate a huge misfortune. His last lap time was a 1:15.9, whereas Andrex was a 13.6.
Yeah, Andrex closing the gap now within 2 seconds. Yogurt is still sitting 3 seconds behind Andrex. We'll see if he can close down that gap.
Lots of drivers now with time penalties.
Yep, but we've got Yogurt with 6, but Atomic's got 7 seconds of penalties there in P9.
Crab got 10.
Yeah, Crow, sorry I missed that. Yeah, Crab on 10 seconds of penalties there in P6. That's going to be a huge drop. That'll put him back down to below Atomic at this rate if the race ended now. So, as said, time penalties could play a huge factor in the finishing positions today. As we Atomic going very wide.
As Atomic just came through the kink, and I guess he didn't take my advice and braked. He must have took it flat and went off onto the gravel.
Yeah, it's a very tough corner. Even with these high downforce cars, that kink the inside curb is not very nice. If you hit it wrong, you can easily get sent out into that gravel for doing it just a slight inch the wrong way on that curb. It just bounces the car out, and you just can't make the corner. So may have happened to Atomic there as he comes round. Go back to Yogurt now, who seems to be dealing with back markers. Is that? Yes, I believe that's a back marker in front. No, it's Andrex. Could be Andrex. Yes, it's hard to see in these lights. It is Andrex, sorry.
Yeah,
it's only 1.6 up the road. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Beauchefran's behind.
Yeah, we saw Beauchefran's pit, didn't we? Along with Dusty. So Beauchefran's down in P16 at the moment. We'll see if he can finish the race on a one-stop. Even when he pitted this early on in the race, he's coming down to the corkscrew.
He'll be really gutted that his race has gone this way. But hey, we're only 11 laps in, so who knows what's going to happen. Everybody else could have a nightmare as well, and then he could be in the pound seat.
Definitely, and obviously it's just a practice race, so it's just a time to learn the car, learn the track, even though not at the track, but at least learning how to set up the car for a track and adjust as they go on. See Yogurt coming around through turn 2. Inky Chris, this was your favourite here in P5 at the moment. Got a nice push in behind him.
He's doing good. He's doing good. Currently P5. It's still there. He's setting pretty fast laps. He's matching the leader, 13.7.
Yeah, smashing out the laps there with a few guys getting into the 113s on their race pace at the moment. So everyone is pounding those laps in as Ultimate's back up to a nearly 6-second lead on Andrex. As we on lap 12 of this race with 45 minutes to go, a quarter of the way through.
And here's our buddy MDR Martin. Oh, Oh, he's having a bit of a moment as well as he came round turn 3.
I believe that's the same time he had the moment before, which he had the spin in the early laps of the race. And who's that off on the track?
Oh,
Is that Eisen just gone past? Or
I...
was it Ticklish? Could have been Ticklish, looking at the positions. No, it wasn't him. Must have been a back marker then. Not sure who that was.
I'm not sure who that was. We need to learn the liveries.
It's hard to do when it's in the dark like this.
That boy's...
No, mouse. Yes,
well,
looks like it, considering
must
the
be
camera
right,
doesn't
because
know
the
where to look.
cameraman- Come on, look to the left. There we go.
There we go. Not paying these cameramen enough.
We're not paying them at all.
That's very true. Yeah, in fact, you are the cameraman, I believe.
Ultimate
So.
must have had a moment. He slipped down to P3.
Oh, we missed that as we were looking at Mouse, but yeah, Ultimate down in P3 now, and
Andrix is now taking the lead.
he has indeed. The Scotsman didn't think he'd end up here today when he's against a field like this, but Andrix got a 3-second lead on Yogurt now. Ultimate is chasing down Yogurt.
These guys don't make it easy on themselves, do they?
They do not. So it's a very tough track. It's very easy with these cars just to lose it a little bit, and as soon as you start losing it in a high downforce car, it's very hard to pull it back. As we got Admiral Loverod has joined us in the chat. So what happened to your race? Are you? Let's can we look at the leaderboard at the moment? Is assume since he's in the chat he's dropped out of the race.
Oh.
Sorry to see you here, I guess. Even though it's great to see you watching, it's we prefer to be watching you.
Yeah, we want to watch you, not you watch us. So Inky Chris now trying to close the gap to Smolder and P4 with a second gap between them. It's been pretty stalemate for the last couple of minutes, but this is the closest battle that we have on track.
Yeah, but we see if you look at the lap times there, Ultimate had a 1:23 on his lap where he had that spin there, and Inky Chris was also 2 seconds faster than Smolder the previous lap. So, but Yogurt as well with a 1:19 on his previous lap. So maybe something happened with Ultimate and Yogurt, or maybe it's just Yogurt dodging Ultimate with this incident. But some very low lap times there, or slow lap times for those two there.
Yeah, definitely. Although I know Andrix will be quite happy with that. Let them two battle, and he can try and pull a gap.
Oh, Admiral Loverod
was a
saying.
119.
Oh yeah, that's.
Also was a 119.
Yeah,
How is he going
122 and a
to
119. Very strange. Whether he had damage from his off, we won't know, but we'll see what lap time he can put in now. He doesn't seem to be losing that much time to the other cars around him. He's still only a few seconds off Yogurt, so Legiondaires in the pits there, getting serviced.
I think the window for the fuel might have just opened at this stage, with 40 minutes left.
See what fuel they got left. It probably seems about right. We see from Admiral Loverod, forgot to assign a button to ignition, unfortunately, so that ended his race very early. But at least it was now and not in the actual league. There's Crab's off in the barrier.
Crab's had a huge one. Oh, careful the rejoin.
Where is that? That's down at the hairpin at the bottom. Is that that's turn 6, I believe. No, turn 5. Sorry, it's turn 6 now. It's turn 5. Yeah.
The hill, yeah. Oh, that's fortunate.
Everyone's struggling today on this track. You see all the penalties as well as someone else is off-roading there down the corkscrew. I believe that was a back marker. It may have been Dusty.
Yeah, no.
Definitely need to learn some liveries here.
Oh,
sorry.
there's so many cars that Andrix is trying to work his way through here.
If you just follow. Oh, Andrix made his way through them there. They're at the front, is he?
Come on.
Oh, who's that off there? Just a yellow car in the bottom right of our screen. I'm not sure who that was. But we have another car off. It could have been Ticklish, I believe, in a yellow livery car. Oh, he is, but that wasn't him.
Cameraman was on a T-brake there and he refused to show us anything.
But it seems a lot of people are struggling whether tyres start to go in the race. It's only 20 minutes in. They should definitely be lasting longer than this, but if they can't even get them up to temperature. I heard some people struggling to know whether softs or hards and just couldn't get the temperatures right at all in any of the tyres. So we look at Franz and JJ in the 119s at the moment. Martin in a 118 as well, so he must have had a moment that lap.
And this is the stage as well after the pit stops. No one knows when the other teams are going to pit, so traffic will play an issue. Like Beauchamp put it early now, so he wants to get out and he wants clean air, but he's stuck with other people that have come out in the pits ahead of him. This is the life of racing.
It is. When you lap down, there's someone else off there, and it's Beauchamp goes round them. Didn't seem like it's for position though.
See how the former race leader, now P3 Ultimate's getting on.
Yeah, he's done 114s again, so he's got the times back up. Not the 113s he was doing, but still faster than Jogic and Andrex on the last lap. But we saw a lot of traffic on track, so lap times may not be an accurate indicator now when people are dealing with traffic.
Yeah, I'll just bring up the track map and you can see just how congested the track is at places.
Yeah, it seems especially around that last corner with the yellow flags conveniently in the way. There's 4 cars there coming down together, 2 of them being lapped. Oh, perfect timing there to see Martin off.
Oh,
it's in the barrier
Martin,
as well.
He's having a nightmare tonight. Managed to gather it together to graze the wall and bring it back onto the track, but oh, he's got a bit deep and he's cut that there, cut the corkscrew as well.
I'm unsure. I should probably have checked this before the race where the damage is on, but I'll quickly go look at that. Because Martin's car seems like it's fine, even though he did seem to hit that barrier pretty hard. Of course, for the main league, damage will be on, so maybe just for this practice they've turned it off just to let people get used to the cars. But I'll check that for us now.
Well, whatever the matter now, Crab, after his crash, is now in the pits and is leaving the pits and is in P11 exiting the pits. Martin has been able to jump him up to P10. Ticklish now up to P11.
No information about whether the damage is on for this race today, so apologies for that, but if there is, then Martin got away with one there since he stayed out afterwards. I assume there wasn't too much damage on his front end if it is on.
And Mash Up Matt doing the right thing and getting out of the way of Andrex. These two know each other off the track as well as on. Andrex is going to be loving this.
Yes, indeed. As Jogic's done a 120, is Jogic in the... He's not in the pits, but he's done a 120 his previous lap.
Just getting caught up with back markers maybe.
Yeah, he's still only got 4 seconds up to Andrex, so I assume, like I said before, these lap times not really accurate for the pace of the drivers, as each of them are working their way through these back markers. As we got Crab in front of Jogic here through the corkscrew. See if Jogic can get past these 2 drivers smoothly.
As Mash Up Matt goes slightly off, and Mash Up Matt has had a bit of a mare going off for there into the penultimate corner. It ends up to just take it safely and just cut the corner so he doesn't crash into Jogic behind. But in doing so, he's given up the position to Crab. So Mash Up Matt will be slightly hot under the collar there, and he will get the head back down and try and catch up to Crab and Ticklish.
See a lot of people on penalties now, more than...
Oh, it's Crab, sorry to interrupt, but Crab has spun on the second turn as he went wide to let Jogic pass, and I guess he just got onto the marbles and ended up spinning it, but he's got it back on the road again. But once again, Mash Up Matt, is back in front.
It's a back and forth battle there with those 2, but it's not on track battles, it's off track battles by the looks of it.
I can definitely tell these 2 are going to have a back and forth race. Ultimate now, after fighting through those back markers, has started dropping time to Jogic and Andrex. down to almost 9 seconds even to Andrex.
We'll see over the line what the gap is, but I feel there's not much traffic as Martin comes in for the pit stop at 34 minutes left in the race, so about as we expected. That seems like a scheduled stop there. Fuel up.
Yeah, he's
going
filling
in
up.
there. 63.9 should get him to the end. Seems a very calculated number there by Martin.
He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. I have full confidence in him that he knows he's got his maths correct. So here we have Boisvrands, who is trying to make his way back through the grid. He's got Crab in front of him. Sure, he's going to try and make it down the inside. He's going to have a look anyways. He's going to dive down the inside. Crab's going to leave him the space as they try to climb up the hill. Crab goes around the outside. They leave him space, but they're drag racing up to the hill. It's a bit of a argy-bargy. There's Crab. Almost has to take avoiding action, but Boisvrands makes his way through cleanly. As they head up to the corkscrew, Boisvrands gets through quite nicely. A little bit of a drift, but he gets through alright.
Yeah, that was a great move by Boisvrands there to take P11. He'll have his sights now just on gaining time to Ticklish, who's 17 seconds up the road by the looks of it. So a lot of work for Boisvrands to do there to gain some more positions, but he has the pace for it. Let's just see if he can do it.
Dusty and JJ getting pretty close together now, as well as no, that must be a park marker. Yeah. Dusty and JJ heading. Whoa, there's been a car off. I didn't get to see that.
Not sure who that was. No, it's hard to see.
But Phoenix here in P8 is absolutely pressurizing P17 Legionnaire. Oh, and he goes off on the penultimate corner, and he's facing the wrong way, and he's hit the barrier. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage from that there, but that is severely gonna hamper his hopes of having a good result tonight. Oh, that's a
rejoins there in front of Yogurt, I believe that is. So hopefully he can make room for him down this straight here. Doesn't look like he's doing so, but that was another commentator's curse brought to you by JP. As we see Phoenix going down now into turn 2.
I'm good at the old commentator's curses.
Interestingly, Yogurt bought it within 2 seconds now of Andrex, so that time has come right down. You see, there's the gap there as Andrex goes through turn 4, and Yogurt follows him closely behind.
Jorguk now, I feel he is in the groove. The fuel has burned off and he is in time attack mode. For some reason the cameraman decides to show me Crab.
That's him driving through the parking lot. He's going home, he's had enough. But Jorguk, yeah, as we say, he's getting it down towards a second now. About to breach that second mark.
He's in time trial mode.
He is indeed. We'll see if Andrex can hold him off. Andrex is a very, very competent driver. He loves endurance races. An hour is a bit shorter than what he's usually used to, but he should be able to know how to defend. He's a very competent driver, and showing it with the pace today, leading this race on lap 23 as we enter lap 24.
Andrex getting past the back marker. Hopefully the back marker doesn't spoil this lead battle for the lead. Oh, as Jorguk almost rear ends the back marker.
I think it's Ticklish. I'm gonna say it's Ticklish this time with the with the yellow skin.
Alright. Nope.
That was Inky Chris. So we see what time penalties are doing.
You're correct.
Yes, I got it right for once. I spotted delivery. Time penalties. 22 seconds of time penalties for Yogurt. How is he going to make that time up on the track? We do not know at this point, because he's not doing enough to gain or overtake on Andrex to put a 22-second gap on him. As we see Atomic as well with a big 20-second run as he overtakes Eisen, who's in the pits for P7 at the moment, but it's a huge penalty as well. And 12 seconds for Crab is another big one, and Martin on 14 as well. So a few drivers picking up some huge penalties here today.
Yeah, I think maybe the best thing would be to do for the drivers who haven't gotten any is just try and keep it clean, and you'll end up winning the race. Because if they keep going the way they're going, all the drivers on the grid, apart from who doesn't, will get a huge boost up the grid.
Yeah, for sure. Andrex with only the 2 seconds for Andrex though, so he should be pretty safe up in the lead. Especially Yogurt having the 22 seconds, unbelievable. It's going to put him down to about P5 by the end of the race by the looks of it.
He must have picked up that penalty on the previous lap because he's done a 118 that lap, but he didn't lose any time to Andrex. So I know the game automatically adds it on. So he must have picked up 5 seconds, 5 second penalty that last
As
lap.
Bergeron's off
And
again.
Bergeron is off.
On
Oh
turn
no!
4
And somehow he managed to keep it out of the wall.
This track proving to be very difficult for these drivers today as the crowd gets sketchy coming off of turn 5. A lot of drivers you think would be able to keep it together for the whole race have just not been so lucky. So Ultimate with a huge issue early on, and Bergeron's having a couple of offs now which have cost him huge amounts of times as well.
Phoenix now, after his off, has caught back up to Legion there. Has got the gap down to 0.7 of a second as he pulls out of the last corner and he's getting a slipstream and he's trying to get right onto the gearbox, what he is, as they go over the crest for turn 1. And will he go around the outside in turn 2? He's down the outside, they're side by side in the braking zone. Can he hold it around the outside? Oh, do they touch? No, there's left room. As he hit the turn 3, but he had to slip back in. But that was a very clean move. Very clean racing there from the two of them.
Well, we'll see if they can keep it up. They may be battling for the lower positions, but Phoenix spins it again. Phoenix.
This is so hard to watch.
Just to recover. Yeah, he's had an unlucky day. Every time he seems to have something good going on, just can't seem to keep it on the track. But it's unfortunate for him there as he rejoins. We have Ben Dixon in chats. Did we find out if damage was on? We did not find out if damage is on. There's no information on it, and we cannot find out in game. So, judging by the incidents that have occurred, I'm gonna say no, because it looked like there should have been a lot more damage based on what we know from the game, but cannot be 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the start of the race, a few of the drivers had some pretty big crashes, and like they would have been feeling it from the beginning, but they were still able to set like decent lap times, like within like 1 second of the leaders. So I don't think damage is on for this race. And if the damage is on, that means that every driver on this grid is much better than me.
Indeed. Andrex has pulled the gap out again now, so time Yogurt did gain has gone back the other way to 3.3 seconds as we see him come into the corkscrew now. Andrex past the back marker. I'm not sure he expected this today, to be honest. I don't think he thought he'd be in first place, let alone leading it for the best part of 20 laps so far since Ultimate and Yogurt's incident.
Yeah, the good old Andrex is very humble when you're talking to him. He never tries to be boast about himself, but at the end of the day, he's rapid. He really is rapid. As I'm pretty sure Yogurt just got another 2-second time penalty added on. Let's have a look.
27
He's up
for
to
Yogurt.
27 now. That's insane. If he does this during the championship, I can't see him doing very well in the championship because other people behind will simply just jump him.
Yeah, we know this from the GT3 leagues that Yogurt does like to get very close to the track limits and often over it, so he does seem to pick them up quite a bit. So even if he has the pace, he may not be able to keep that up, as we see Atomic leaving the pits now for his scheduled stop with just under 25 minutes left. Atomic going to come out in P12.
Yeah, Tommy's had a great race so far. He's been up in P8 pretty much most of the race. And the cars in front now have to pit. So hopefully if he can pick his way through the traffic with Phoenix there. Whoa, as Phoenix had another off and distracted Atomic. And Atomic had to take avoiding action there, very close to having an off. And I don't understand why the cameraman keeps taking me back to Crab at the other side of California.
It's probably filming from Nevada. They're there, I think, like
Yeah.
not even the same state. As should we see what fuel is the top drivers have at the moment? Because they should be coming into their pit stop soon. So it's about just over 2 liters per lap. So
Yeah.
Andrek's got at least 8 laps in him at the moment. Yogurt there with
York only has
8
4. He's been
liters.
pretty heavy on the fuel.
Crab on 50.
Again on Crab. Uh,
Ultimate there with 16
Ultimate and
liters.
P3.
Don't know what you're clicking, but again, we like to see
I'm
what
not.
Crab's doing.
Ultimate has 15.6 liters. It must be a bug in the game because I'm not clicking anything. I swear.
Well, we'll blame it on a bug.
Pesky
Yeah, we
bug.
should see these leaders coming into pit over the next 4 to 8 laps. We'll see how that shakes things up, if at all.
Let's see how my pick Inky Cross is getting on. He's got 14 liters left, and he's currently P4. I know a pit stop here costs you about 45 seconds. So if he was to pit now, he'll come out at about. He'll come out in P7 ish.
So you're not sure what other people have done in terms of pit stops. It's hard to track it all. Project Cars 2 doesn't quite have the functionality for tracking all of these things. But for an old game, it does look rather pretty, especially at night, seeing these headlights as they dive down. Oh, JJ getting very wide around turn 2.
I think JJ was just getting out of the way of
thought that was
Crab?
Martin. That
Yeah,
might
he
be
was getting out of the
Crab.
way of Crab that time. Crab's gonna love me after the stream. He's gonna be like, I got so much airtime.
It's a bug, it's a bug. Keep telling yourself it's a bug. How much has Crab paid you for this airtime? Those sponsors on the car just need to be seen. It's Crab there in P9 as Phoenix enters the pits. Hopefully,
Phoenix is in the pit after a few excursions.
seems to be putting a fresh set of tyres on, which will hopefully help him. I think maybe not. Not sure if the animation lines up with what actually happens. So he may be getting fresh tyres, which will hopefully help him keep it on the track a bit more for the later half of this race.
Yeah. And I think Yogurt, he's dropped back by 5 seconds to Andrex. Andrex has just got to keep it clean basically, and he will win this on track.
Yes, with Yogurt's time penalties, I feel that Ultimate is Andrix's actual closest rival. That's 10 seconds behind for Ultimate. So we can see if he can make any of that time up in the pits. We don't know what strategies people are on, so if someone's in the pits for an extra 5-10 seconds for fuel, or one takes tyres and the other doesn't take tyres, we could see it get a bit close for the closing stages of this race.
And there's Phoenix again off. He's just not having a great night tonight, unfortunately.
Not at all. It's not being his day, but hopefully, like I say, it's practice. That's what this is for. Some of these guys may never have touched an LMP2 before, or even anything like a prototype, and I can tell you now they drive a lot different to other cars. You have to be so aggressive to keep them on track. And if you, if anything,
Yogurt, sorry to interrupt, but Yogurt is in the pits. Let's see where he comes out. I know a pit stop costs you 45 seconds here, so let's see where he comes out. Smolder, Inky, and Ultimate has now jumped him, but they all still have to pit. Will he get behind Kuranik? I don't think so. Yogurt is on his way out of the pits. Let's have a look at where he can jump out. Will he have clean track to try and jump Andrex in the pit stop and try and get the undercut?
Well, Korovnik's come in the pits anyway, so Korovnik is not going to overtake him. Looks like Yogurt's coming out in P5.
P5, does he have clean air? He doesn't. He has a lot of cars in front of him on the track.
Because he's going to have to do a lot of work now to try and make up time and get through all this traffic in front of him. Not the greatest timed pit stop in the world, but we'll see what he can do.
And as Yogurt has come into the pits, Andrex has set a beast of a lap. which is a 1:12.9 last lap. So he knows now that Jorgik will be out for setting fastest laps as fast as he possibly can. So Andrex is now probably trying to just concentrate and get the overcut.
Yeah, he's down to
And just
9 litres, just under 9 litres now, so he's got maybe 4 laps. Probably see him coming 3 laps just to play it safe. 3 or 4 laps for Andrex now before he needs to pit. See him 10 seconds up the road now from Ultimate. That's staying pretty stationary there. They're setting pretty similar lap times within 3/10 of the last lap. So Ultimate will have to do something pretty special to catch up with Andrex here.
and Phoenix is in the pits again.
Maybe damage is on if he's coming in the pits for a second time.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long ago that he did his first pit stop. So surely it's got to be on.
Definitely doesn't need fuel, although he'd maybe put it in if he hasn't changed any of his pit stop settings. Very, very unfortunate there for Phoenix to have to pit again. So again, looking at Crab off into the distance.
Crab now trying to hunt down Boschranz at the corkscrew, the 1.1 seconds ahead.
Yeah, Boschranz, as we know, he qualified in P4 and he dropped back down to P17 and worked his way back up to P7 at the moment. So great recovery driver. Smolder has entered the pit lane for his scheduled stop.
I wonder if Boschranz has enough fuel to last him to the end of the race.
22.4, yeah, because we saw him pit early, didn't we? So he's not had to pit because he pitted with just 10 minutes into the race, I believe it was. 22 litres, that's going to be 11 laps.
Yeah, just 11 laps.
That's 11 minutes plus a few
Whoa,
more.
Someone went off
I
in the
don't
back.
think Boschranz can make it to the end on 22 litres. I think he's going to have to do a splash and dash.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to make it either.
Very unfortunate for Boschranz. If only he could keep it out there for a few more laps early on in the race, he could have stayed out and made some huge positions. And who's that going slow on the inside there? Is that Atomic?
And the cameraman
Can't tell, the
hates us
camera
here.
doesn't... Oh, someone's spinning there off in the background,
spinning.
that's the corkscrew. This game needs something to track where people are on track so we can change to them when we see them spin. The camera controls are not the best when you don't know the
Yeah, they are taking
Martin.
a huge cut over the Sergeant Rocker, taking a huge cut over the corkscrew there. And for some reason, he has his wiper going. If you can see at the bottom of the screen there.
That is a trait of Martin's. He likes to drive with his window wiper on. He did it all through the GT3 season. It's like a little metronome for him just to keep himself in rhythm, keep himself going on the track.
Time.
But it didn't
Maybe
seem to work down that
like
corkscrew.
Maybe he's a musician.
What it is, just trying to keep the time, keep his momentum going, keep the rhythm with his window wiper ticking away. See Andrex now with just a quarter of the race left to go, coming into turn 2 with a commanding lead, but this will be his last lap now before he pits as we see Inky Chris come in for his scheduled stop from P2.
Yeah, Inky definitely couldn't have done any more laps. He's run the car as late as possible now. This will be a splash and dash. Let's see how much he needs to take on. Just watch as the fuel goes up. 20.1. 20 litres is all he needs for the end of the race.
Oh, it's just bumped up to 30.6, so that seems about right as Andrex. With 2 litres left, he's definitely going to need to come in this lap because he knows it's about 2.1 for his car, what it needs. As he's, I'm not sure if he's the only driver in the open cockpit Okra, but he is representing it. People seem to be leaning towards the Leisure branded cars, either the Nissan, the Judd, or the Honda for the third one. I believe it's Honda. So Andrex being his usual self and picking something a little bit different, just to prove that you can do it in anything. So as he enters the pits now with a 36-second lead on Inky Chris, See if he can maintain that. A pit stop was about 45 seconds, but maybe with this little time, there's less fuel in the tank. He might be able to do a quicker pit stop than what we thought.
And something must have happened to Yogurt, because Inky Chris has jumped both Ultimate and Yogurt in the pit stop.
Yeah, he's done a great job there. Just maybe Ultimate put too much fuel in his stop and he's put him down by quite a bit. But Inky Chris doing a great job on pit strategy there. As he comes out in second place. Where's Andrex at the moment? Do we jump over to him? Is he gonna? Yeah, Andrex is out the pits now as Inky Chris is over the start-finish line. So not a huge lead, but Inky Chris can definitely get that down.
He's got 13 minutes to try and catch him. He's got 13 seconds, got 13 minutes, 1 second a minute. It's a big ask, especially against someone like Andrex.
Definitely is, but Andrex on fresh tyres. I don't know if how quickly they come up to temperature in these cars. So Inky's already had a couple of laps out to get his tyres up to temperature and get the pace up. And we'll see if Andrex can keep that lead. You see the gap between Inky Chris is actually only 2 seconds to Ultimate, so that's going to be a very close battle for P2. You see what penalties those two guys have? So only a 2 and a 3 second penalties. That's going to be a very close race to the end there for Inky Chris and Ultimate. Just 3 seconds separating them right now.
Yeah, the top 3 doesn't really matter. There's Inky Chris. If he could get within 1 second of Andrex, he would take the win. But as for the top 3 between Ultimate and Andrex, it's a stalemate because they both have 3 second time penalties. Chesnick in P10 pushing. He's up to P10 as Ticklish.
Yeah, Ticklish enters the pit lane there to get
has gone into
serviced.
the pit.
Managed to go well there with only 12 minutes left in the race to take his pit stop. Again, not sure the animation looked like it's taking tyres, but I don't know if that animation is accurate, so we won't assume. As Atomic here in P12 at the moment. We'll see if he can gain a position on Ticklish taking his pit stop.
Yeah, Atomic's had a pretty decent race considering. Well, he started P12, but he qualified P11, but then he got the grid penalty for must have been speeding in the pit lane, and started P12. Had a great start. Was up to P8, but it seemed after the pit stops, Atomic got the rough side of it and has ended up back down in P12 after all the pit stops have filtered out. But
Yeah.
is that Ticklish on the pit exit?
It is Ticklish.
Atomic goes around the outside and takes P11. Get in there, Atomic.
The great drive there. It's going to be very close.
11 minutes.
Although I believe Atomic may have a fair few more penalties than Ticklish, but they can at least have a decent race on track. With Atomic on 31 seconds, with Ticklish's 2. It's quite a big difference there, unfortunately, for Atomic, but at least he can have a nice battle on track as he goes wide there on turn 6 coming up the hill, but he maintains his position, gets back on track safely up towards the corkscrew.
The beauty of this though is this is pre-season testing and they don't actually care about the time penalties. They will literally, this is bragging rights.
This is definitely bragging rights. Yeah, for sure. So we see if Atomic can beat Ticklish to the end here. They were always close when we had the practice session. As Atomic wide there on the exit.
The last turn.
Yeah, that looked very weird. I thought he was pulling up, but no, he just went very wide and had to correct himself there. And Ticklish gets the run on him out of the corner and takes the position.
Atomic goes up the inside, tries to hang on, but Ticklish gives him the space, and he was able to carry the speed around the outside and carries on in P11. But this battle is not over. I can guarantee you that Atomic will be getting this head down to catch Ticklish before the end of the race.
As you see, I think P4 and 5 may be having a close battle there with Yogurt and Smolder. There's only a couple of seconds between those guys too. Smolder within 1.5 seconds. There he is coming around the final corner just behind Yogurt, so that could be close towards the end. And Ultimate seems to have dropped off the back of Inky Chris. About 5-second gaps being pulled there. It was only 2 seconds earlier on in the race, so a few little things going on in these closing 10 minutes of the race.
It's amazing what strategy can do. It's like the start of the race all together, then the race expands, everyone's all over the road, and just spreading out through the field, and then as the strategy comes back together, everyone races for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, as we jump on with Kiranek right there, coming on the final corner. How is he getting? It's P6. He's just on his own a little bit, isn't he? Really, he's got a huge,
just having a nice Sunday drive,
huge
or
36
Wednesday drive.
second gap up to Smolder and 6 seconds ahead of Boschfranz. And Boschfranz in 7th after his drop down to 17th, so he's gained 10 positions since then. It's a great drive by him to bring it back.
And here we have Smolder and Jorger. They're getting closer and closer together. Smolder has got 8 minutes and 30 seconds to try and make a move on Jorger for P4. I mean, he doesn't have to because Jorger has the time penalty, but we'll ignore that for now.
Yeah, definitely ignore time penalties. They're going to still fight as if it is for the position on track. Jorger's going to do all he can to keep Smolder behind him. For these closing 8 minutes now we got left of this race. Andrex pulled a commanding lead of 11.7 seconds on Inky Chris now, so he's had a pretty uneventful race, Andrex. He kind of sat around, everyone else went off around him, he took the lead and he stayed there.
Yeah.
So great drive by the Scotsman. You see
Atomic
Atomic into the pits with no front lights, so I assume damage is on if he's got no front lights. I don't think he would have turned those off manually.
Oh, he's retired.
He's retired the car. That's unfortunate by Atomic.
Oh, poor Atomic, that's a nightmare. That's really unfortunate. I know the Boschfranz come in for a splash and dash, but I do know Atomic in the last test session they had, he did have technical issues. Because the game kept crashing.
Right.
It's a shame that he has had this tonight as well.
As you say, Boschfranz, he couldn't quite make it. 5.6 litres left. That was only going to be enough for 2 more laps, which, 7 minutes left in the race wasn't going to get in the distance. So here he comes for that last drop of fuel. Drops down to P9. Can't really tell if he's going to drop any further. Timing screen does not like people pitting.
Yeah, he's going out in P10 and he will be 10th because Ticklish is coming around the penultimate corner now. So Boschfranz should be getting back up to speed for the turn 2. Yeah, there he is.
Yep, so
let's have a look at Martin, Indio Martin.
He's down in 13th. That seems a bit lower than I'd expect for Martin. He must have had a few issues this race. Martin usually one of the quicker guys on track.
He's had an eventful race.
Yeah,
he's definitely had an eventful race. But it's a steep learning curve when you're up against the likes of Andrex, Inky Chris, Ultimate, Smolder, Jorger. These guys, if we were looking at the top 10 in the leaderboard in the time trials, and 9 of the top 10 drivers are in this race. Well, 8 really. The others sitting beside me.
Yeah, there's quite fast guys in this. Got Admiral Loverod. Laguna Seca is a wild track for LMP2 cars. Yep, it is indeed. It's I don't think they were designing Laguna and went, what, we should race here, LMP2. But it's great to see. It's the beauty of a game like Project Cars 2. You can take any car to any track and just see what would happen. So here we are with LMP2s at Laguna Seca.
Sure, why not? There's no reason not to.
Exactly. As we're going to see obviously later in the season, or first round of the season, is at Bathurst, which again, not really an LMP2 track, but it would be great to see how they manage to tackle the mountain.
Matchup Matt here having a decent race. I mean, he qualified around 16th and get up to 14th. So I'm pretty sure he'll be happy enough with how this race has gone.
Not that far behind Martin. He's only 1.5 seconds down on Martin, and I think he's got to be happy being that close to Martin in the race. See if you can get a position on him at all. Nothing goes up towards the corkscrew there. Just about to see the headlights of Mashup Matt behind him. Oh, as Martin has a huge off, he gets huge air down the hill. I don't know if he hit the tyre barrier on the way down there, but he seems to have recovered. Again, we're not sure if damage is on, whether he
Whoa,
would
he's
have
had a
claimed
huge moment
damage.
as well coming down through the hill.
It's gonna please mash up Matt as you can see him in the background there, stalking Martin as he comes around the
Yeah,
final corner.
he's be able to. He's
And that's
closing.
wide
Oh,
by
and he's in a
Martin. It's a
bad
poor
exit.
exit.
This is a very bad exit. This is just what Mashup Matt wants. Mashup Matt's going to be in the slipstream now as they head down to turn 2. The gap now down to 0.4 of a second.
Definitely,
MDR
yeah.
Martin, I've never seen him be so ragged and panicked like this. As Mashup Matt gets out of the way of one of the leaders. It must be...
Not sure who it is. It must
no
be
idea.
someone.
Yeah. Stop show.
Keeps going back to Crab. Apologies for that. It's a bit of technical issues. Wouldn't be a stream without technical issues, as Crab seems to be the person we want to focus on all the time. But Martin coming up the hill now.
Mashup Matt has lost 2.5 seconds after letting that leader through.
Yeah, looks like what I can
could be
see
Kieran.
behind.
It's Kieran who he had to let through.
Yes, it is.
Dusty is in the pits for it must be a splash and dash.
Yeah, just 3 minutes to go. He may have miscalculated his fuel, but he's coming back out now for the final few laps. And Martin coming across the start-finish line. Is that a position on Dusty? It is a position on Dusty as well, so Dusty has lost out on a couple of positions there by having to take this late pit stop. Because Mashup Matt also gets past Dusty in the pit lane.
Now, and it's that Andrex about to, that is Andrex. This is how fast Andrex is. He is about to lap P6, who is right in front of him.
Having a bit of an off. But yeah, Andrex having a great race today. Like, I've never seen him put a foot wrong this race. We haven't seen him off track. He's just constantly been on the pace, doing what he does best, just lapping and lapping and lapping, which is where he's most comfortable, I believe, with all the endurance racing he seems to do. He just likes to just get in and just do lap after lap after lap. And that's what he's been allowed to do today, in first place for the majority of the race. It's about 15 minutes into it, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, I suppose it's easy when you get out in front and like everyone's battling behind you. You don't really have to defend. You can just do laps. You don't have to be fast. You can just do laps and just keep consistent. Yep,
definitely the case. See, 1 minute 40 left on the track, so 2 more laps to go here today at Laguna Seca. See, Andrex, our leader, is probably going to take this the way it's going. Mashup Matt and Beaufran seems to be closing down on Mouse with only a couple of seconds between those two.
Mouse has had a pretty good race, I have to say. He started way down the grid and now he's up to P9.
Yeah, he's done a great job there.
What a great race to get a top 10 finish out of this. All he needs to do is hang on just for another 2 laps.
Yeah, with Beaufran, so we know qualified in 4th place, but had an unfortunate opener to the race, closing in down. It's only half a second faster lap, but that's all you need to be. There's going to be 2 laps left for these guys. See if Beaufran can make any moves on him. We can round turn 1 into turn 2.
All Mouse has to do now is just keep it clean. Although, as I say that, he just has a lock-up.
Yeah, it's a pressure maybe getting to him, knowing that it's only a couple of laps, but that's where you start to panic even more, if anything, as he goes. Has a poor exit there, allowing Beaufran to gain even more time on him. It's going to be very close to the end for these two, as Beaufran also goes wide, so both of them really trying hard now to keep the position and fight over that P9.
Doesn't want to show us.
Back
to Andrex.
The camera does not like Laguna Seca. It just wants to show hills in California. As I think everyone's picked up a penalty apart from Eisen. So
yeah,
Eisen didn't keep it clean as we no time remaining on the clock. So Andrex leading our race here with just a 3-second penalty. Inky Chris in second and Ultimate in third. It seems that's going to be the way they're going to finish.
Eisen could actually pick up P7 here if he can close the gap slightly more to Crab.
That's going to be very close, yeah, 21 seconds.
This is the time to get your hot laps in.
Yeah, I can't see Eisen losing position there to Mouse. Seems to have a 2-second gap there. Where's Andrex coming now down?
Andrex now comes down to the penultimate corner. One corner remains. As he goes around the final turn.
Koenig
There
letting
he
him
is,
through.
flashing the lights. What a fantastic race he's had. Fully deserved. Unbelievable. Inky Chris comes across the line in P2. Ultimate coming around the final turn now to pick up P3, the final podium position. He'll be pretty happy with that, even though he did unfortunately throw it away. There's Smolder P4. Jorgurk, he will be disappointed with that. I'm sure he was expecting a win here tonight.
Yeah, that's P5 at the line, but had a bit of fun there, but his penalties may drop him down further than P5. Although, maybe not, because Korovnik decided to let Andrex through for the final lap, so I don't think Jorgurk's actually going to lose a position because he's still on the lead
And
lap.
Chesnik, sorry to interrupt, but Chesnik has grabbed P7 off Crab.
With the time penalties, yeah, Crab has dropped down to P8, and Eisen has taken P7. Great race by him.
P10. And Ticklish for P11 as he crosses the line.
Yeah, with Dusty finishing behind Ticklish, we lost at least 3 positions in the pits there, Dusty, at the end. Unfortunate for him. Mashup Matt actually overtook WM Martin. Looks like Mashup Matt got Martin at the line.
Oh yeah, maybe
whether there's penalties on that,
time
I'm
penalties,
not sure.
yeah. So let's head over and see if we can grab some interviews.
Yes, it's maybe a bit weird here. We'll try our best to make it work, but we'll jump over and try and get some interviews for you now.
Right.
We'll message some of the drivers and see if they want to jump in for an interview. It'd be great to get Andrex in here. I know he's always keen for a little chit chat with us, so we'll see if we can get him in and get his thoughts of how the race went. So a rundown of the final standings then. Andrex P1, Inky Chris P2, Ultimate Kaze P3, Smolder P4, Jorgurk P5, Kirovnik P6, Eisen Schenk, sorry, P7, Crab P8, Mouse in P9, and Ticklish in P10. And am I allowed to scroll? I am not allowed to scroll. I think Kinky
I'll
will scroll for me.
Boysgrand's P11.
As my game crashes.
Dusty P12. Mashup Matt 13. MDR Martin 14th. JJ 15th. Phoenix and 16th. Legendaire 17th. Atomic, unfortunately, one of the 2 retirers in P18, and Lemongia in P19.
Oh, we have a few people in here today. So let's start with our race winner, the Scotsman himself, the Flying Scotsman, Andrex. How was that for you today? Did you enjoy that one?
It was a surprise. Yeah, I wasn't I don't think anybody was really expecting the Orca to be a top performing car. Yeah, it took me about 5-10 minutes to kind of get into my groove, and then just kind of put in steady lap times, and seemed to be quick enough. So yeah, Yogurt was collecting penalties like their Mario Kart power ups. I don't know. But, yeah, but yeah, Orica 1-2 with the future teammate Inky is a very promising start.
Yeah,
sure.
we saw Yogurk's penalties rack up there towards the end, and we saw him and Ultimate Kaze have a few incidents which lost them a fair amount of time. So, looking forward to the calendar then. Obviously, this being just a fun social race. Which race are you looking forward to the most, Andrex?
I think twistier tracks are probably going to suit the Orica maybe more than the power tracks. So things like Bathurst, perhaps, although it's quite a high altitude track, and I don't think the Orica's got a turbo, so it might struggle a little bit there. I'm not sure, to be fair, but yeah, the tracks like Le Mans we're gonna struggle with the straight line speed that we just don't have. So we need the corners, slow speed corners and stuff. So yeah, I think the calendar might work out to be okay for us. But I think there is quite a few power tracks, so we'll just take it race at a time, to be fair.
I have to say, Andrex, I love how humble you are. I was talking to you the other night, and you were saying, "Oh yeah, probably like a top 10, maybe." I don't really know these cars, but come on, be honest. Where do you think you're going to be in the championship standings?
I mean, I always aim for top 5. I mean, I don't ever really expect podiums. I think Yogurt was maybe slightly off his normal alien pace tonight. So I think he's struggling a bit with the car. So I think once he dials that in to be a bit more consistent, he's gonna get some more pace out of that for sure. Inky and myself, I think Inky's the faster driver out of the two. I think I maybe put in a bit more practice for this race tonight than he did, perhaps. But there's some fast guys. Ulti there tonight, put it on pole. I was definitely setting up some fast lap times at the start, just pulling away from me. So I mean, there's strong competition out there for sure. So I'm never out to win or win championships. If I get really good results and podium position results, then it's just a massive bonus for me. I'm out just to kind of test myself and challenge myself, just see what I can get, and then it's down to the rest of them, see how far down the grid they can put me, essentially. So
Yeah. Well, you proved it tonight that you
podiums would be
can do it.
amazing. But
And
I'm not setting expectations. But top 5s, I think, are probably achievable. If I can sneak a podium here and there on a track that suits the car, then I'd be happy with that.
yeah, it's great to see you take the win tonight, and hopefully you can carry it on for the rest of the season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We move on to P2 finisher, Inky Chris. How was that for you tonight?
Yeah, that was really interesting. It's very difficult when you're practicing to figure out what it's going to be like behind cars, and it's horrible. I can tell you that. But so it's fun to kind of start in the middle of the pack and see how far I could work my way up. I was really hoping for the penaltyless run, but I got bumped off track at one point, which is why I ended up with the 2 seconds. Otherwise, I would have got my goal. But yeah, no, it was a really interesting race. Hopefully, we'll see a bit more wheel to wheel like that in the coming rounds.
Yeah, we saw loads of people picking up penalties. I think Eisen may have been the only person to not pick up a penalty, so you're not alone in the penalty farming team. But choosing the Orica along with Andrex, any reason for the Orica over the more popular Ligier car?
Well, I have a natural desire to pick a lemon essentially and try and prove it wrong, give it the best option. I think a lot of people look at the time trials and assume that it's not very good, but actually, like Andrex said, around the twistier circuits like this one, actually, it can really perform a lot better. Some of the other cars basically don't run first gear down low enough to kind of get out the chicanes and stuff. Yeah, and it's really fun. I'm playing in VR, so having the open cockpit's an added bonus as well. It's a bit better than being penned in with a little letterbox view of of the world.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty fun there
Yeah.
with the LMP2s in VR. So great finish for you tonight, P2. Got to be confident going into the rest of the season. Where do you what are you aiming for? Obviously, Andrex being humble and not having any expectations. Are you got anything in sights?
No, he's always like that, isn't he? I'm maybe a little more thirsty for the wins and the podiums, but I think realistically, I kind of want to play the team game, try and get us at the top of the team standings at least, and then, like Andrex says, just take what comes to us. Try and make sure all of the races are kind of there to be lost rather than won, and just kind of keep clean and see what comes to us.
It's great to hear. So congrats on tonight, and we'll see you next week at Road America, I presume.
Yeah, thank you. Take it easy.
And here we have is Yogurt next. How did your race go, Yogurt?
Fun, but also pretty bad at the same time. It's pretty hard to explain, but yeah, I was just struggling with pace, and then the penalty started rolling in, and then I just had fun collecting the penalties, they used to call me the penalty king, so I just went with it,
Oh,
and
we still do.
yeah, and basically I had a little battle with Atomic when he was still in the race, who could get the most penalties, and because he retired early, I got 35 seconds while he got 33 seconds, so I won. That's my win today.
We'll get you a little trophy made. If you cast your minds back to the Formula Renault G 3.5 championship, you and Inky Chris had a hell of a battle in that
That's
there, which
probably.
you managed to win. How do you think that's going to pan out now that Inky Chris doesn't miss the first 2 races of this season?
I think he can probably take it, but honestly, in Formula Renault, it was super close. I personally say we were equal. I don't know what he thinks, but it was just back and forth. We were just taking first and second, back and forth, back and forth. And if he would have been there for the first 2 rounds, it would have been really intense. I think we would have just gone like that for each and every round, and then maybe even ended with somewhat of an even point count. And yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was a really good season. Probably one of my favorites. And yeah, I see him as one of my best rivals ever.
that's such a cute thing to say. Thanks, Yogurt. Moving on now to WND Martin, who had a very eventful race. Do you want to talk us through some of your excursions?
One way to call it, yeah. I mean, we've got our penalty king, but sadly the game doesn't really keep track of how many times you crash. So I think I might have gotten gold for that one. But yeah, I had a really good start. Despite the turbo lag on that thing, I think I was up to somewhere deep into the top 10, which was really nice. Had a really good battle with Atomic, going back and forth side by side through some of the twistier bits, including the corkscrew, which I was not expecting. And we kept that up until I lost control of the car, and instead of just kind of like letting go of everything, I decided to hit the brakes because that tends to work in some of the other cars, and not in this one, sadly. So that was my first crash. And then from that point onwards, it was just like seeing in which corner of the track I can crash the most. And I think there's maybe only like 2 corners where I didn't crash all race. So
Well, you'd be glad to hear that I managed to catch, I think it was about 4 of your crashes on
oh,
stream.
good. Yeah, I managed to get third place in the rain in the previous race, and I think this time I was like 7 laps down. So I'm definitely not picking this car.
So do you think you're going to go for well, what do you think you're going to go for then for the championship?
The Orca, 100%.
Have you any expectations? Like, what's your aim for the championship heading in?
Well, for one, not to crash that much because otherwise I'm going to last every time. But
Uh,
um, for qualifying, I'm not expecting much at all. I mean, I tend to start at the back in the faster cars, but I'd say aiming for possibly maybe like a top 7, top 8 finish every race.
happy days, happy days. Well, hopefully we'll see you during the season, and hopefully you'll be picking up points instead of time penalties.
And crashes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers.
So next up, Ticklish Pickle Wickle. How's your race? Talk us through it.
Well, not a particularly eventful race, to be honest. I didn't have many battles. I did gain a lot of positions by just kind of people spinning in front of me, but then again, I also lost positions from spinning, so that kind of went both ways. I gotta admit, I didn't really have. I had a very minimal amount of practice for this race, so I probably wasn't prepared enough to really be competitive. But uh, obviously, that'll be another story um, for the um, for the league. Of course, I'll be more prepared for each race, but this was more for fun, and I think it went well. I think I managed to to mostly keep the car on the track, and I think that was pretty much the aim for today. Um, so yeah, not a very eventful race, but definitely got some track time and some experience with the car.
Yeah, well, that's what testing's all about. But yeah, I wouldn't beat yourself up about it because from the stream you could definitely tell, even from qualifying, that people were struggling to get to even just keep the car on the road. So I mean, I think from the signs of things, you're in the same boat as a lot of people, and I expect some good things from you. Have you got any aims for the championship, like where you think you're going to end up?
Ooh, that's a bit tough to say right now, but I'm kind of, without being too enthusiastic, I think I can allow myself to say that I want to race for points every single race. So that's basically a top 20, which should be doable. But I mean, like my strongest point is basically keeping out of the trouble. So that's probably what I'm going to rely on for most of the season. I'm not really going to rely on my pace because I seem to be a couple of seconds off the pace from like the very fast guys. So yeah, that'll definitely be the focus for me in the season is to stay on the track and keep the car out of trouble. And if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get some points for every race.
That's great. Great to hear. Assuming you're one of the guys that put together the calendar, which one made you most excited to get on there?
I mean, obviously the kind of um, obvious one is probably Le Mans, but that's also going to be a much longer race than the rest of the season. I gotta say, just because we haven't had it yet, and I think it's a very cool track to race on. We haven't had it yet for any earlier Project Cars seasons. Mugello, we basically left it out before because it was a DLC track, but we finally actually decided to go ahead and actually include a DLC track in the calendar. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, but just because it'll be a kind of a new experience for everyone because we haven't had it on any calendar on AOR. And I just think it's a massively fun track to drive on.
Yeah, it's good to see Mugello on there. Like you say, we don't see it very often in these leagues, so great to see you race there. Hope you enjoyed tonight, and we got one more interview to go with Mashup Matt, who is muted at the moment, so hopefully he's still here for an interview. Yes, he's unmuted himself
There
now.
he is.
There he is, our boy. So Matt, how was that tonight? I saw you racing a bit with Martin towards the end there. It seemed good race.
Yeah, it was eventful, but I think everybody's evenings were eventful in some form or another. For me, at the moment, it's just a whole case of getting laps in the car, getting used to the handling characteristics. It's very difficult for me at the moment to get practice in. So these social events are, you know, very, very useful. But the main thing for me is I didn't hit anybody today, and nobody hit me either. That was the bonus. So, because even at the start, when we had a few incidents, I managed to pick my way through and was running in 11th early on. But yeah, obviously the pace then of the guys who were faster behind me crept up. But to finish well inside the top 15, I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah, it's a great result. Obviously, it's going to be an even bigger lobby when we get to the league racing with, I think, 37 people have signed up, so we're going to have very full lobbies. What are your expectations for the league? Have you got any aims in sight, or is it just survive it and have fun?
Yeah, just to finish each race. That's my aim for this, seeing as I don't race this game an awful lot. I've never raced these cars before, apart from the last couple of social races. So I haven't got a feel for it as a lot of the other guys do. So if I can nick a few points along the way and get the cars to the end of the race, then I'll be happy enough with my season.
That's great to hear. So thank you guys. That's, I believe, everyone for the interviews. So congrats on all your finishes and getting the race done. And we'll see you when the season begins. Having said that, we've got one more pre-season race, don't we? Road America next week. So hopefully we'll see you all at Road America.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in, and thanks to all the drivers and the coordinators. It's been a great experience doing this for the first time. I definitely I definitely enjoyed it. I don't know about you, Kiki.
Yeah, it's great fun commentating alongside you, and knew it would be, and a bit of nervous going into it, but I think we did all right.
Yeah, we got there. We found like a groove somewhere.
Definitely. So from us here and all the drivers, good night, and we'll see you next week at Road America at 10th of March.